And welcome. We're live from InfoVision Stadium in Akron, Ohio. It is the Duquesne Dukes gone up against the Akron Zips. Hello, I'm Jack Morgan. Alongside me, Nick Fernbaugh. We have a big matchup tonight for Duquesne. They're trying to get win number 2 in their FBS history, at least, playing FBS teams. This is game number 13 for them, actually, which is a lot because if you think about it, they didn't really... Ooh. I am muted. That's okay. Let's restart.
It's all good.
Live from InfoVision Stadium in Akron, Ohio. This is Duquesne football here on Duquesne Student Television and Duquesne Student Radio. Hi, I'm Jack Morgan. Alongside me, Nick Fernbaugh. We're not muted this time. So
it's always a good start.
Yeah, no, definitely better start than you could have. But Duquesne, speaking of starts, they're 1-2 this year. They've had a couple tough opponents. They played Pitt. They lost that one in bad fashion. Definitely, they would have wanted a better showing. They did not get that better showing. Now they will go ahead and play their second FBS foe of the season. Second time they're playing 13th time they're playing an FBS foe in their program history. This is a chance for them to get their second win against an FBS team, as well as their second win against a MAC team. They beat Ohio back in 2021. Remember Darius Parentes?
I definitely do. And what I think is going to be key here is the fact that the MAC has had some interesting matchups. In fact, as Graham and Evan talked about it in the pregame show, they took down a MAC school as their first ever FBS win, which was Ohio. And not just that, we saw last year's St. Francis take down Kent State, and this year LIU upset Eastern Michigan both at their places. So the NEC has had some success in the last few years against the MAC. So I feel like this is a prime opportunity for Duquesne to have a statement win here.
Line opens up at 8.5 in favor of Akron. Obviously, Akron, the home team. And in a fun way, this is, you can almost call it the LeBron James Bowl. Akron, Ohio, the birthplace of LeBron James. And Duquesne has their ties to LeBron as well. So it's certainly going to be an interesting one. We're going to get into the X's and O's of this. Game time is in 23 minutes, or at least on the scoreboard, they're saying 25 right now. Teams have cleared the field. They will now go back into the locker rooms. Duquesne is located on the right side of the stadium, or at least for our view. We are at about 30-yard line on the right side, facing the Akron logo. Duquesne's to the right of that. They are in their locker room. They're actually near the marching band that's about to come onto the field. Akron, I mean, this stadium is pretty impressive. I got to say, 33,000 is the capacity for this stadium. It's pretty impressive, if I must say so myself.
I mean, 100%. And what I really love about this is it almost gives us a little bit of a reminiscence of a place not too far away. When we went and broadcasted at Youngstown, I guess worked at Youngstown. And what I really love about this place is, honestly, I've always said there's just something so nice about it, just having two main sections of sitting, one side here on the press side and then on the other side, because I feel like it gives that really. I feel like it lets the noise just bounce back and forth and really let it sink down into the field.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love this state. It's simple. Listen, you have also been to West Virginia.
Yes.
We've been to West Virginia. I've been to Boston College. I've been to Youngstown. We've now been to Akron. I mean, so I've at least at this point seen a few different variations of stadiums. I've seen an FCS stadium, unlike Duquesne. I've seen a couple FBS stadiums that are unlike Duquesne's, because Duquesne is 2,000 person Rooney Fields, with standing room only added on. But you get out to stadiums like this, I will say this, when we walked in here, and we got here pretty early on, so we have been here for about 3 hours. We've been about for 3 hours. We were down on the field just incredible buzz when you're in an FBS stadium, and I think that Duquesne's going to feel that, and there's an opportunity for them to capitalize on that and kind of bounce off that, feed off that.
Yeah, and what I'm really curious about, and I want to ask you this. I mean, what do you think it's going to take? What do you think is it going to take for Duquesne to come in here and get an upset against a school like Akron? Because they are still the underdog here by a decent bit, even with the success, like I talked about, like some NEC schools versus the MAC recently. What do you think Duquesne needs for this?
Man, I think they need a good start. I'll say this for every Duquesne, this has been the case for every game FBS foe they played. You got to get off to a good start. And if you don't get off to a good start, you fall behind early. And against teams like this, you don't want to. I mean, Duquesne, when you look at games that they have made some noise in, like West Virginia, when they came close until that weather delay, they had a great start. And even though West Virginia had a couple big touchdowns, they countered that by keeping themselves in the game. So I think that's a big thing. I think penalties is going to be a huge thing for Duquesne. They have had some trouble with it. Jerry Schmidt said a couple weeks ago that the pre-snap penalties are the ones that make him lose his mind. And hopefully the Dukes can help avert that tonight. I mean, we'll have a pretty good view of it from over here, just kind of the reaction from Jerry Schmidt and his coaching staff. I mean, they've got a big task at hand. Well, just a couple of things about Akron. We're going to say a couple names tonight, specifically the one we will say is Ben Finley.
Yeah.
He is their quarterback, so definitely going to say his name a lot. Finley is second year at Akron and his fourth year overall. He's a senior, so he's looking to go out with a bang, and just the bang hasn't really happened for him so far this year.
No, and I think what's been really tough, I mean, one thing that was really just tough to see, he didn't get 100 yards in either game against, 100 passing yards in either game against Wyoming or Nebraska. It was rough. I mean, they started out in those first two games, a combined score of 78-0. They didn't score a point through their first two games. That's tough. That's a really tough look sometimes, and I think what you really want to see is just, you want to see Ben Finley get comfortable, like not get put under pressure by guys like Kersinger and Dunkley and people like that, because if that happens, you're going to see Ben Finley have a lot of struggles. But this is a guy who played at schools like NC State. This is a guy who has the comfortability in being in a big environment, in big, loud, tough environments like NC State was, like the Wolfpack was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think there's kind of some wide receivers as well that you're going to want to keep your eye out on in terms of targets. You got Marcel Williams, Miles Walker, and Alex Adams. The running back is Sean Patrick. Tight end, Jake Newell. So you're going to definitely want to keep your eye on those guys. You're going to hear us say their name a lot. And just really an Akron team that is not off to the start they want, but whenever you get an FCS opponent, it's almost a chance to kind of reset, gain some momentum. But Duquesne's a dangerous team. And you're going to hear us say that throughout the entirety of this pregame show. It feels like there's still something possibly in the air. I mean, there is a distinct possibility, I think, that we see Duquesne walk out here with what would be a wild win.
Yeah, and what I think is going to be key here, we saw last time against Lehigh, where they could run just about anything they wanted. While the passing wasn't fully amazing there, they were just running all through, like completely through us.
All over. Yeah.
That's one thing I really want to keep an eye out here with someone like Sean Patrick. They're a freshman. He has been playing unbelievable. I mean, he's averaging 57 yards a game. He's had their only rushing touchdown. He's had 36 attempts for 174 yards, averaging about 5 yards a carry. He has been an absolute stud for a group that has needed a spark right now. And I would keep your eye out on him, because people like him and even Jordan Grant, another guy who's averaged close to 5 yards carry. They got two guys who can run the ball very, very well here at Akron.
Akron's first three games, they lost 10-0 to Wyoming opening weekend. Just a brutal result for them. They then went on the road to Nebraska. It went about as well as you would think it did, about as well as it went for Duquesne against Pitt. They lost. They accept a little worse. They lost 68-0. So they were scoreless through 2 weeks of football. However, last week they did fall 31-28, but showed a little bit of promise, and that's certainly something they're going to want to build off of and find a way to take down, what would be a big foe in Duquesne. If they're able to take down Duquesne, man, I mean, that's something you build on, especially going into MAC play. As far as I know, yeah, this is their last non-conference game. They go ahead and play Toledo after this. So Toledo on the road is certainly not it's not a great start to your conference schedule.
No.
Toledo, a whole lot of success. Duquesne found that out themselves just a year ago today. We got more action coming your way. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. You're watching Duquesne football here on Duquesne Student Television and Duquesne Student Radio.